What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're doing a little bit of a delayed reaction to the fight announcements. I saw them. Obviously, this is not me just finding out about this. I posted them on my community page, my reaction to them briefly, and I put up some polls for who you guys think is going to win. But I try and stick to my normal schedule, and I didn't want to pump out another video like 2 hours after my last video as well, because it sort of just kills the algorithm and just completely eliminates the other video. But anyway, the fights are really cool. Looking forward to all of them. Great matchups. We're going to talk about every single one of them in today's video. And yeah, also, Lucas kind of talked about it already, Lucas Tracy, Dana White needs to, can we do some promo videos for this shit? Can we stop just getting Dana White on a live stream, reading a bit of paper, just being like, yep, kid's on a 13 fight win streak. It's the longest in the fucking division history, except for John Jones. And he's got a 62.3% striking. What do you do? You're just reading off stats. Hype up the fucking fight. Drop a promo. Why this Dana? The Dana Instagram live. It's cool because it gets everyone excited. And especially when they do especially when it's just random. To this time, we got some news beforehand saying Dana's gonna go live later. Stay tuned. But it's almost more fun when it's he just randomly goes live. It's what's up, fight fans? But this time he didn't. Bro, you've just dropped 2 sick pay-per-views for October. And he's just yep, feature fight, Jiri versus Khalil. That's going to be a banger. Bro, can we get some fucking excitement? And then as soon as he's yep, oh, by the way, 320 that week, we got power slap. And then he just automatically just jumps up in energy, and it's he's just been fucking, he's done a line, he's just John Jones max, and he's just wakes up, power slap, badass fights, kid. Anyway, let's talk about all the matchups, starting with 320, and we'll end with 321. Let's get into it. Drop your predictions as well in the comments. Let's get underway. So, UFC 320, the main event, Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. No one's shocked by this. I think we were kind of just we kind of knew October was going to be one of the main events is going to be Ankalaev Pereira. One of the main events is going to be Aspinall Gane. And then Merab versus Sandhagen will be the co-main to one of those cards. We kind of weren't sure. I think most people probably thought it was going to be Vegas. There was a brief kind of oh, what if Abu Dhabi, or what if Islam JDM is one of those October cards. That was never going to be it. Islam JDM was always going to be MSG. That was just, if you had any level of common sense and just logical thinking, you kind of knew that's basically now confirmed for MSG. You got to imagine the co-main to that's probably going to be fucking Whaley Shevchenko or some shit like that. And then December, we're probably getting maybe a Volk and then a Van Pantoja co-main. Or something along those lines, which is usually the Vegas card to end off the year. But we haven't had a Salt Lake City card this year, so maybe they end the year Salt Lake City. They normally always end the year in Vegas, but they normally don't do the October pay-per-view in Vegas either. So we'll see what happens. I imagine, though, the rest of the title fights this year, we're definitely going to get Islam JDM. We're definitely getting Van Pantoja. And it's what main events and co-mains the other. What co-mains MSG and then what main events December. Because I wouldn't mind Van Pantoja main eventing December. But I don't think the UFC is going to do that again. Where they main event. Even though I love him, Pantoja, I don't think they're going to main event him 3 times now. Even though I wouldn't mind it. And this is one of the more hyped flyweight fights in history. But that's not what this fucking matchup is. I've just ended up talking about that for the first minute and a half of this segment. But Ankalaev, Pereira, we kind of knew what was going to happen. Is anyone overly hyped for the rematch? No. Come fight time, we'll be hyped up. Hopefully Pereira can look better this time, because he's been using the injury excuse a fair bit. Against Khalil, when he won, he said he had some virus or some shit, he was sick, and that's why he looked mid. And I was yeah, that kind of checks out. But then he fights Ankalaev again and says, oh, he had another fucking virus or sickness. It's alright, I can't accept more than 2 in a row. Even the Jiri fight, he had the broken toes and shit, which we knew were true. That wasn't some fake excuse. But even if it's true, even if you fucking have a torn fucking, I don't know, even if you dislocate your fucking cock or something, that's not even a thing. You snap your fucking banjo string, I don't care. You can't be using the most random excuses as even if you think it did affect you, too fucking bad. Take better care of your health, take better care of your injuries, and stop going to fights fucking physically deteriorated. I know everyone's gonna be injured in camp. Everyone goes into fights not 100%. I don't know what the fuck I just said before, but like, you know what I mean? So, I like Pereira, I want him to win here, because Ankalaev is a cancerous champion, he's just killing, the division just sucks, but I also recognize, I'm not going to cope this time, I do recognize that this is kind of just how the sport goes. This is Leon Usman-ish, in terms of like, Usman's clearly fucking better in his prime, or maybe you can't say Pereira's clearly better in his prime, but I feel like decently confident in saying Pereira at his best probably could beat Ankalaev, because that first fight was close, and I'm not going to sit here and listen to fucking Kenny and MMA Joey, these retards, who just glaze Ankalaev for the sake of it, acts like this was some domination. Like, this was a 3-2 decision, you can't score it 4-1. I mean, you can, but it's like a stretch. It's 3-2 with an argument for Pereira winning. It's not a strong argument, but like, you can argue 1, 3, and 5 for Pereira, from memory. I think it was 1, 3, and 5. Yeah, that sounds about right. Or it was, yeah, something like that. You can argue 3 rounds for Pereira, and it's not crazy, but it's just like, kind of like, you have to sort of be looking to give the round to Pereira, even if you can. Whereas, like, to give it to Ankalaev, you can kind of just be like, yeah, he stayed a bit more active, he was kind of backing him up, without being too intricate with it. But yeah, I'm just going to assume Ankalaev's going to win again. Because the thing is, if I pick Ankalaev and Pereira flatline KOs him, I will not care a single fucking bit about getting my pick wrong. I'll be celebrating, I'll be happy, I'll be elated, right? If I pick Pereira and Ankalaev fucking KOs him, I'll feel like an idiot, because it'll just be like, oh, it was like when I picked Volk in the rematch against Islam, with no logic, just like, fuck, I want Volk to win, so I'll just pick him. And then you just feel sad and dumb because you got your pick wrong. So, I'm just going to pick Ankalaev and hope for the best, and hope Pereira comes in flawless, no injuries, no deterioration somehow in his prime, despite being fucking 39 or whatever, 38 I think he is. So, shout out Pereira. Hopefully he comes back and looks good, but I just can't see it happening. He's been out for a minute. He's apparently really fucking heavy. Who knows, like, if he even was that, like, focused on getting his belt back. He was probably just kind of like, yeah, I've made my money. I've got my double champ status. I can probably move up to heavyweight if I want. And we were kind of thinking that might have been a possibility for a bit, with some of those videos coming out of him weighing like 240, 250 or some shit like that. So like, and Joe Rogan, next time Joe Rogan commenting, how did he ever make 185? He's made out of mahogany. So Rogan's going to be going full effect with the glaze and the fucking repeat soundboard statements that he keeps making. But the pick's going to be Ankalaev. If Pereira fights aggressive, I think Pereira's actually better off, instead of trying to win a decision here, just go for it. Just go for it. Be aggressive, try and chin Ankalaev, risk getting countered and put away, because I don't think you'll just win. Ankalaev's a higher output striker than him, and he backs you up. And he has the takedown threat, which I don't think I can see, like, just a flawless Pereira takedown defense masterclass, where maybe there is a possibility where the first training camp, he just spent so much time defending grappling that his striking was mid. So, if he just says, fuck it, I'll let you shoot, take me down. But this is the thing of, the only possibility Pereira really has is, like, Ankalaev just assumes that, oh, I beat you in the striking the first time, I don't even need to bother as much with the wrestling this time, and as such, Pereira doesn't actually need to train as much wrestling, and can just focus heavy on the striking and catch him there. That's honestly, I think, a better idea. Instead of committing to, like, being able to defend the takedowns, but you're getting outboxed on the feet, just put all your energy and put all your stats into fucking striking and counters, and not getting backed up the whole time. And ways to deal with his forward pressure, and then just say, who cares about the grappling? If I get taken down, I'm going to lose the round anyway, you're not going to sub me. And yeah, just do that. Either work get up / striking. Don't bother with the fucking initial takedown defense, because, like, you did well the first time, and I don't even think Ankalaev's going to shoot as much this time as he did last time. I think he probably wants to get a knockout. I think he probably is comfortable on the feet now, whereas the first time, even though he was winning a lot of exchanges on the feet, he was still, like, mixing the grappling as a precaution. Now he's like, I just beat you on the feet with pure striking, let's just fucking do that again, and then he might get caught. So that's the Pereira's chance, in my opinion, but it's not good enough for me to pick him. The opening odds were like -200 Ankalaev. Feels about right. Maybe there's some value on Pereira if you think he's going to come in looking better than last time, but I'll pick Ankalaev for now. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Merab. Hey, guys, and one more thing, guys. Merab Dvalishvili. Hey, it is not Deshashashvili. It is Merab Dvalishvili. Learn to read and speak English. Corey Sandhagen versus Merab. I'm actually hyped for this. Like, I'm actually kind of more... Let me know in the comments. Am I wrong? Am I, like, trying to be fake hardcore for fucking saying I'm more excited for this than the main event? Because, like, even though I think the pick for everyone's going to be Merab, because you just can't pick against Merab until proven otherwise. Like, until his chin gets cracked and he's actually vulnerable, you just got to assume he's going to keep improving, because it's not like he's even plateaued. Like, a lot of fighters, you just kind of see their rise, they're climbing up, they're peaking, then they plateau, and then you got to kind of pick against them right at the time when you think they're going to start decreasing. Merab hasn't even started to plateau. Like, we're seeing submission skills in this dude's arsenal. Like, he's still on the climb up, which is terrifying, given that he's not even, like, that young. Like, he's like 30, he's like 33, 30, like 32, 33, 30, I don't know, it might be 30, I think it's 33. 32 or 33. And is still improving. Like, you would expect someone to still be improving in their, like, late 20s. You don't normally, normally around, like, 33, 34 is when you hit the plateau, and then some guys it'll last for, like, 2-3 years, like it did with Volk, I think. Volk's lasted a little bit, Izzy's lasted a bit less, Usman's seems to be lasting decently, given how he looked in his last fight. Some guys just fall off rapidly. But Merab's still peaking, and he's not even, like, young. Like, he's not even early 30s. Like, well, he is early 30s, definitionally, but, like, how old is Merab? Let me check. I think he's 33, is my guess. He's 34, fucking hell. Yeah, this dude's 34 and still improving, still developing. He'll be like 3 months away from 35 when he takes this Sandhagen fight. So maybe we gotta look forward to the next Merab fight and say, is this the time when the 35 curse hits? Which we're starting to see is being proven wrong this year, because Volk won his belt back and Pantoja defended as well. So we'll see what happens, but the pick has to be Merab. But I'm excited because Corey Sandhagen definitely presents issues that other guys don't, because he has the range of O'Malley, which had a potential to give Merab problems, and the outside striking and the lateral movement and the ability to not just get backed up as much. But we still do see him get taken down. We still do. But, like, his grappling defense looked really good against Umar. Like, his struggle with Umar was actually getting outstruck. It wasn't so much the grappling. What kind of happened in that fight was Umar just kept shooting. It was always, like, a competitive round. And then Umar would just shoot with, like, 40 seconds to go. Sandhagen would, like, do that fucking Grammy roll bullshit. And Umar would take his back from it and just win the round in, like, the last 20 seconds. So, for the most part, his scrambles are good. We saw what he just did to Figgy in the grappling exchanges. Figgy's a really good grappler, so I do think Sandhagen has the grappling kind of counter ability to potentially give him some issues, but he still gets taken down. He's like a little bit too weak, in my opinion. Like, he's not the most physical, strong dude. He's not, like, super, like, explosive like a Song Yadong with his takedown defense. It's like, he'll more go for, like, crafty, kind of weird transitions and shit with his... Like, a Song Yadong will just kind of explode up and keep it on the feet with just pure power and just energy, which will work for 2 rounds, but then he probably fades. Sandhagen's style, I think, is better for not gassing out, so I don't think we're going to see Merab just drown Sandhagen, but I think it's just going to be a continuous... He just gets a few takedowns around, and Sandhagen isn't able to do enough on the feet, because he doesn't have that one-shot power, and unless he's able to snipe him with, like, a knee or something, or a head kick or something, which is possible... And he does do a good job at doing random bits of damage in situations. You can't pick against Merab. Like, maybe I'll just say fucking try and be retarded and just pick Sandhagen. But, like, for now, the pick's Merab until you really see him fall off or start to decline or start to slow down with his pace. But right now, he's got submission threats, his striking's looking good, and he's just got that unbeatable energy about him where he's just going to back you up. And I don't know if Sandhagen's going to come out there with, like, supreme confidence to just walk forward and, like, throw his own shots. So that's the thing. If you can't get your own striking going against Merab, you've got no chance. So yeah, I'll pick Merab. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Khalil Rountree versus Jiri Prohaska. I bring legendary bachelor's degree. Let's go for that. Jiri Prohaska, I'm picking him to smoke Khalil Rountree. I don't care, bro. Bachelor Jiri, college degree Jiri is a new mythical fight. I don't even know if he got his college degree. I think he did. College degree bachelor's Jiri is a new mythical fighter. He's smoking Khalil Rountree. I know some people are going to be like, oh, Jiri kind of had a competitive back and forth fight with Hill and Khalil sort of just shut him down across the decision. To me, you can't really use MMA math with the Jiri Prohaska fights. You kind of just have to look at the opponent's skills themselves and just be like, okay, how do you beat Jiri? You do what Pereira did. You shut his lights out. Can Khalil do that? Sure. Do I think it's likely? No. Do I think Khalil is just like a dramatically harder hitter than Jamal Hill or Alexander Rakic or Volkan Ozdemir or any of these guys? I can't say I do. Like, it took Pereira, like, clean counter left hook, which I just don't think Khalil's got that same counter style. Khalil's shots, power shots, more come on the front foot. Jiri's shot got head movement now. Jiri looked really good against Jamal. Yes, he did lose the second. And the low kicks here are going to be the potential issue if Jiri just gets his legs shoot up. But for the most part, I just see Jiri's fights, and I'm like, unless you're Pereira and you shut him off, you can tune this dude up for a round. Like, that's cool. He'll lose the first, and then he'll just, like, take over. Because we've seen that with Khalil. If he really goes for it, like, he was able to beat Jamal, because, one, Jamal's cardio is not tremendous, and two, he didn't really fight at a super high pace. Like, he wasn't beating the piss out of Jamal Hill the whole time. He was kind of just kicking his legs a whole bunch and just landing decent power shots when he could. But in my opinion, like, a Rakic beat the fuck out of Jiri for the first round and just gassed. Like, I don't think Khalil is going to be able to just tit for tat beat Jiri. Jiri's going to be doing too much damage. He's going to be too aggressive for Khalil to just be able to sit on the outside with low kicks. So I think Khalil's best chance is trying to stay technical, because if he just goes for it, yes, he could catch him. That's his only chance of finishing the fight. But then he just gasses, and then Jiri just takes over. And we saw it with Khalil, what he did with Pereira. Those first two rounds, I know it was Salt Lake City, it was altitude. Those first two rounds were not a tremendously high pace. Pereira just sort of kept it on him with just boxing pressure and just started piecing him up later on in the fight, got the finish. Big damage up against the cage. I don't think Khalil is just dramatically improved from that fight. I just think Jamal's not that good, and that's why he was able to look good there. But apart from Jamal, who literally steps over his feet when he's walking towards you, I'm still yet to be that impressed by a Khalil fight. Like, yeah, he looked good against Pereira early. I believe that Pereira was a bit compromised in that fight. Again, I'm not excusing it completely, but, like, I don't know how good Jamal is with his. Jiri is proven consistently to be able to beat anyone who can't really KO him, in my opinion. So the pick is Jiri Prohaska. Let's move on though to UFC 321. Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall. Hello, John. Would you like a cup of bicarbonate soda? John Jones manages to just weasel his way out of having to fight Tom Aspinall. Now he's gone back and says he wants to fucking fight at the White House. I was so glad when Dana White just said, hey, what's the question? John Jones at the White House? Nah, kid. You can't risk putting John Jones in any big event spots. I literally smiled ear to ear. I was beaming when I heard that shit from Dana White. Like, thank you, Dana. Dana White finally broke things off with John. They ended the affair, you know. They're back to their partners, you know. God forbid. Prayers with John Jones's fiance or wife, whatever she is, girlfriend. Prayers with her. Can we get a welfare check on Mrs. Jones if Aspinall goes out there and KOs Gane or finishes him quicker than John Jones did? We need immediate welfare checks on the Jones household. Kids, wife, the whole lot. The pick here is obviously Tom Aspinall. I'll read out the percentages. I put up, let me also check the opening odds as well. Because I put up a poll, and I think it's like 97% is picking Tom Aspinall. Which is crazy. I'm not saying that's wrong. Like, sorry. I'm obviously picking Tom Aspinall as well, but yeah, now it's a 95. Out of 1.8k votes, 95% of the people are picking Aspinall. 88% of the people are picking Jiri. 90% out of 1.2k are picking Merab. And then 57% are picking Ankalaev out of 2k votes. And I'll check the opening odds for you as well. Fucking hell. Because they are a little bit interesting, and I don't know if you guys think... Aspinall opened at minus 425. The odds are currently at minus 370 for Aspinall. So some people were tempted by that Gane line. By the way, for reference, Merab opened at minus 335. Ankalaev actually opened at minus 180. And then Jiri Khalil opened at a pick'em. Jiri, I believe, is now the favourite. Jiri's now all the way blown out to minus 220. So crazy. Those odds have just doubled. But the pick is Aspinall. I just can't trust Gane. I thought he clearly robbed Volkov. I didn't think he won that fight, and I picked him to win that fight. And I was like, yeah, you kind of did not fucking win that shit at all. Yeah, his striking just isn't even looking that good. It's like, how's he beat Tom? Unless he's just so good unless he just increases his defense tenfold and is just able to stay on the outside and pick apart Aspinall. One, he's got to deal with the grappling, which I'm not convinced he can. Two, I'm not even sure he's got the hand speed advantage. He clearly doesn't have the power advantage. He doesn't one-punch KO anyone. It takes him like 4 back of the headshots to TKO fucking Junior Dos Santos. I'm just not picking Gane. Like, the fight, it would be incredibly funny. Like, if John Jones didn't exist, just to see Guru crash out, I do kind of want to see Gane win. I hate Gane, and it would kill the division, but just for that sole reason, there is an upside to Gane winning. But all other metrics, obviously, John Jones will be insufferable if Gane wins. If, what's it called? The division will be dead. Like, what are we doing after that? We're doing Gane versus fucking the winner of Volkov Almeida, I guess. Also, shout out to the UFC for smart booking, because they've booked a light heavyweight, basically #1 contender fight, under that main event, because neither Jiri or Khalil have fought Ankalaev. So I think this is the UFC being like, okay, Pereira's fought both of you. We don't really think Pereira's going to win deep down. If he does, you can still run one of those fights back. It'll still be fun. But I think they're more likely trying to say, the winner of the winner of Jiri versus Khalil is going to probably do it in emphatic, fun fashion with this. There's a good chance Ankalaev just like boring outbox decisions Pereira. So they're going to get excitement around the new contender and be like, yeah, this is the guy to beat Ankalaev. If Pereira wins, it's kind of whatever. You still have... Then, also, they're definitely doing Olberg versus Reyes. No source information to that, but everyone's like, what about Olberg? Guys, use your brain. Use your mental fucking capacity as humans. It's obviously gonna be... It's obviously Reyes versus Olberg. Probably for that Perth fight night. If not, I guess it'd be like a Dan Hooker fight. But, like... Use your brain. Everyone's like, oh my god, where's Olberg? I thought Olberg was going to fight you. Guys, think. Use your brain power. Look at the rankings. He's not going to fight fucking Jamal Hill, obviously. He's not going to fight Jan. They've both already fought Jan Blachowicz. We getting it here? We putting 2 and 2 together? Yeah, it's Jan versus... It's Reyes versus fucking Olberg. Thank you. Alright. Because there's actually some retards that are just like, what? Where's Carlos Olberg? It's like, he's fighting Dominic Reyes. That fight was booked. They're going to rebook it. That's what they do. And I think they were more intrigued by a Jiri versus Khalil fight because it's more fun than Olberg versus Jiri, which has a good chance of, like, Jiri could KO him immediately, which would be fun. Or Olberg could just do his boring little point striking that he does. But anyway, the pick is back to this fight. They've also done the same thing on this card, booking Almeida Volkov. Again, if anything happens, you got to back up. It's heavyweight, so there's not going to be a weight miss. I actually think the UFC might be, like, kind of concerned Pereira might not make weight. Like, I think he will, he'll be fine. But, like, if some bullshit happens, you know, whatever, good to have a backup, because Merab Corey's a great fight. You can't really drop a light heavyweight title main event and just be like, yep, all good, guys, have fun, watch the card. So yeah, the pick is going to be Aspinall first rounds TKO or sub. Aspinall round 1 is the bet. The odds on that are probably going to be the same as his fucking money line. But I'll be comfortable with Aspinall anything below -500, to be honest. I just don't think Gane beats him. Unless Aspinall's cardio is just dog shit and his defense sucks. But it's like, I don't know if Gane's going to be the one to just piece him up at range. Like, I don't think that's happening. So yeah, anyway, let's move on. Next up on that also, same card. Again, I like this. This should be a normalized thing. Every single... We saw it with Pantoja when he had the Kai France title defense, and he obviously fought, and then Van and Roval fought on the same card. Please, can we normalize #1 contender / top 10 matchups in the same division as the champion? Unless there's just nothing of interest. Like, let me think. But like, you know what I mean? Like, when Volkanovski has his next fight, we should be... If Volk fights like Movzar next, like, it's not going to be like a necessarily title like #1 contender fight, but like, we could put an Arnold Allen Yair Rodriguez on the card, or, you know, for Van, when Van versus Pantoja happens, we can put, like, a Moreno versus fucking Cap fight or some shit on the card. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean, though? Like, this should just be a thing. Unless there's just nothing of interest. But yeah, when there's a clear, like, available fight to make, like Volkov Almeida. Again, also, I feel bad for Volkov. Yeah, listen, kid, you got fucking robbed. Don't worry. We're gonna make it right by you. We're gonna sort Volkov out. We'll give him something. And then they're just like, yeah, listen, kid, here's Gelton Almeida in Abu Dhabi. Good luck. Rumor has it Almeida's just going to be wearing a fucking beard and he's going to paint his face white and they're going to just see his fighting style and just assume he's Dagestani. So I'm predicting an Almeida win here. I don't know, it is tough. I think this is actually a really close fight. The odds on this one aren't out yet, unfortunately, but I really want to know what the odds on this are going to be. I think they might make Volkov a favourite because he looked good against Gane. But, like, his grappling didn't look incredible. It was more his striking looked better than I expected. Volkov is still just a very tall, lanky dude, and it's like, alright, will his frame be good enough to stop? Can he stop initial takedowns from Almeida? Because, like, on the feet, I think we all agree that Almeida's probably going to get fucking torched. But, fuck's sake. What's his takedown defense historically? He's got a 72% takedown defense, so not bad. But, like, Gane took him down twice. That's a bit concerning. You know, Blades took him down, I think, from Merab. Blades took this guy down 14 times. Yeah. I know he's improved, and I know that was back in 2020. If Blades is taking you down 14 fucking times, I just am gonna have to assume that, yeah, I don't know, I just gotta assume, Jesus Christ, I did not know he took it. Like, I know it's Blades, and maybe Blades is a better pure wrestler, but, like, I don't even think you can say that. Almeida tossed around Blades, and kind of got, like, just stuck under his belly weight, and just fluked, sort of. I just think Almeida, I just gotta go with, like, the lighter man's skill in terms of just bum light heavyweights moving up doesn't work as well, but, like, 14, this dude went 14 from 25 on takedowns, like, yeah, I don't know. I just think Almeida, if he pushes a good enough, like, grappling pace, like, Volkov can definitely win, and on the feet, like, there's a good chance Volkov is just able to use his range and his size to just deter Almeida from even shooting in the first place, but if Almeida makes contact and gets him down, Volkov's tricky, but I think we either see a UD or a sub on the ground for Almeida. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Also on that card, announced Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov. I think a lot of people are going to pick Murzakanov because they're just going to forget that Rakic is actually really good and that he was just beating the fuck out of Jiri for a round and that he did win the first off Ankalaev and have a relatively competitive fight with him. If Rakic isn't... And the thing is... The reason why I think Rakic is going to win this fight, one, he's fucking enormous. He's going to be so much bigger than Azamat Murzakanov. This is not Murzakanov fighting Brenson fucking Ribeiro or Dustin Jacoby. Like, these guys who just don't know how to use their reach or their size advantage or anything like that. And he's able to get on the inside and crack him. And I will remind you, he took Dustin Jacoby 3 rounds and lost the 3rd. Like, that's just something that needs to be mentioned. And the thing with Rakic is, he kind of loses the fights where he can't keep up the output the whole time. Murzakanov is the same way. Murzakanov is not a high output, like, volume, cardio striker. He's a power puncher with mostly hooks, who relies on big damage to either steal rounds or drop and finish his opponents. I don't know if he's going to be able to even catch Rakic. Like, Rakic is usually pretty defensively solid. His defense starts to fall apart a little bit later on, after he's just unloaded the kitchen sink, but I don't know if Azamat can take the kitchen sink from Rakic. Like, Rakic is going to have, like, a 6-inch reach and, like, 6-inch height advantage. It's, like, 5'10 versus 6 foot, and I think it's a 7-inch reach advantage. Rakic typically knows how to use it as well. Like, he was looking almost flawless for the whole first round against Jiri. He won the first against Ankalaev. I rate that. Like, Azamat's good. Dude's 35. I don't even think he's improving. I don't think we're going to see some new and improved Azamat. I think this is just a guy, like, we've got Azamat in his best form. He's just a dude that can, like, I would pick him to beat a Jamal Hill who's chinny and available to be caught with no defense. But someone who's actually technical and coming off a couple losses, so maybe he's a bit cautious, but I think Rakic wins this, and if he's an underdog, I'll take him for sure, because the hype is definitely on Murzakanov, because he's he's undefeated, all that. Give me Rakic, bro. I got Rakic in this fight. Anyway, those are all the fight announcements. So, recap on my predictions. I'll take Ankalaev, UD, Merab Sandhagen. I'll take Merab for a UD. I'll say Jiri, round 2 or 3, TKO. I'll say Aspinall, round 1, TKO. I think he'll prove a point and want to finish him on the feet. I will say Jailton Almeida, 29-28 decision. And then I will say Alexander Rakic, first or second round TKO. Also, other fights that are like rumored and shit. I think like Abbas versus Joe Pyfer is rumored on Tapology for 320. I'll probably pick Abbas to win that fight. I think Shabazian versus Muniz just got announced as well. I'll probably pick Shabazian. Anyway, guys, drop your predictions in the comments. Like, subscribe. I'll be putting out the final matchup of the round of 30 of the 32-man YouTuber bracket tomorrow or in about like 8 hours time-ish. So stay tuned for that. It is Bedtime vs MMA Guru. Gonna be a good fight. Listen, kid, it's a badass fight. Anyway, guys, other than that, what other? Drop some video ideas and shit in the comments if you want any. And yeah, goodbye, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.